Vijay. I thought, the best speaker that I've come across in a long time. Very engaging. This is a fairly esoteric subject. It may not be very easy, but the way he puts it across, it doesn't sound very dense either. So Vijay will take you through this session, which should last about 45 minutes. And after that, we'll get started with our audiovisual sessions for the year, UOP 07. Vijay?
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling? Okay, I'm going to tell you how you're feeling. Okay? Awake and ready. Okay, let's try it. How are you feeling? I'm not convinced. Let's try it again. How are you feeling? How would I like you to feel?
Ready.
Okay, everybody stand up.
I am awake and ready. I'm awake and ready. I'm awake and ready. I'm ready. Go on, breathe.
Okay, good job. So I was in the airport a couple of weeks ago, traveling to the East Coast of Visakhapatnam to do a class, and I got to the airport, and my ticket said Vijay Girard. And the guard at the gate looked at it, and he looked at the ticket, and he looked at me, and he had a problem with that picture. You don't look like a Vijay to me. And so I had to prove to him that I was Vijay, but in fact, that is a name that was given to me. It's like a nickname, a spiritual name. It's not the name that my parents gave me. So I had to think, well, now how can I convince this guy that I am a Vijay and not a Lawrence Girard? On my books, I say Lawrence DJ Girard, and then the East-West connection is easier. So I had to talk to this guy, and I said, look, I will pull out one of my books and show you. And I finally convinced him that a person with this colored skin could have the name Vijay. And I think that experience reminded me of a couple of things. One is that we all have preconceived ideas about the way that we think life works, and we, don't you feel that sometimes when you go in to see a prospective customer and you feel like they've already decided who you are and what you are and put you in a box? And don't you want to get out of that box? Don't you want to get them to see that there's something more that can be going on here? When you go in to visit a potential client, what are you selling? I mean, you're salespeople, right? Would you describe how many people are salespeople in here? Okay, you all are. But what are you selling? What? I didn't hear. Come on, share. Financial services. You're selling financial services. I'm here to tell you that that's really only this much of what you're selling. What you're really selling, now that I've gotten you to answer to a question, is yourselves. Well, who? This is not correct English, but I'm going to say it anyway. Who is yourself? Who are yourself? No, maybe that is correct. Who is yourself? Who are you? If in fact when you go in the door and you know you go in the door selling who you are you? Raise your hand if you spent some time thinking seriously about who you are. We have a few people here, but by and large, we have not been trained. When we went to school, they taught us about how to do this application, how to do that application, how to add, how to the language into your English, a selling situation, step A, step B, step C, all of it on the outside. product information. What do you sell, separate from the issue of you're selling yourself, when you actually talk about your products, what are you selling? Most people come into the selling arena thinking that you're selling products. But what you're really selling is benefits. You're selling things that help people. Yes? Isn't that really the value of what you bring to it? It's something that's going to do something for them. Why do you care about something that's going to do something for them? This is a very personal question. Why do you care? What? Because it takes care of yourself in the form of a paycheck. Okay? You want them, you're trying to sell them something so you can make a living. But I would like to present to you that there's more to the picture that will benefit you, your customer, and your bank. And in fact, your whole life, every aspect of your life. All kinds of things were taking place, bigger than what we normally think of. We think of my world as I wake up in the morning, I have my breakfast, I go to work, I see these customers, I have lunch, I go home, I argue with my wife. No, all of these challenges, and they're all generally put into compartments. Many people believe that you can have a certain attitude in business and a separate attitude the rest of the time. How many believe that's true? Okay, we have a percentage, we believe that that's true. But that's another one of my trick questions. Is it actually possible for that to be true? If you practice anger and aggressiveness in this part of your life, do you honestly believe that it won't come over into this part of your life? That's really not. And what we see is that the stresses, the challenges, the total of the experience, you come home and all of this stuff is going on, you get home, and if it were true that you could compartmentalize your life, then when you got home, you wouldn't feel tired. And you'd feel just as happy to see your family or whoever it is that you live with as you did the day that you realized how important they were to you. But is that in fact true on a daily basis? No, it's not. We do bring it all home. It is always connected. And when we talk about how to access your potential, what is that potential? Is our current level, our current way of interacting with life acceptable? Have we reached our potential? How many people feel that they have reached their potential? Nobody, of course. How many people would like to reach a higher potential? And how many people have a plan for doing that? 1, 2. Okay, we have to, okay. But isn't it true that when we were growing up, when we were young, our parents sent us to school, our educational track was taken care of. And the company that you work for, the bank, has given you a certain amount of educational information. I am here to say that you can take it to a whole other level. And we're going to do a couple of experiments here to see that I can share with you how this works, why it works, and why I believe you would be interested in it. How many believe that there are limits to what we can accomplish in life? Nobody, okay. So let's think about if that's true. Name a favorite food. Anybody? One of your favorite foods. Lasagna. Oh, a good man. Okay. Good choice. Okay. Lasagna. How much of lasagna, you love it, your favorite food, how much can you eat of it? How much of lasagna can you eat? But you can eat it once a week, and how much of it? Maybe, you know, this much? What would happen if you ate more than that? You wouldn't come to the office the next day because you'd be sick. There's a limit to how much food you can eat, yes? And no matter what your favorite food is, if you eat too much of it, it can make you sick. Okay? If you were a weightlifter, think of yourself, you're a weightlifter, okay? And as a weightlifter, we're going to do what we call a curl. Okay? And the weight that you can do, is there a limit? Yes, there is a limit. How many agree with that? Okay, pretty much everybody agrees with that. So we're going to do an experiment here to see if in fact this is true. And if it's true or not, why would that be the case? First of all, well actually I'm going to skip this part because we all agree there's a limit. So everybody make a fist. Make a fist, and if you have long fingernails, be careful that you don't draw blood as we do this. I want you to make a fist and tense it as hard as you can, and when you get to that point of hardness, then raise your other hand. Say, okay, this is as tight as I can make it. Okay, ready? So when you get there, raise your other hand. Okay, this is your limit. Okay, now make it tighter. Was it your limit? No, put the other arm down. Okay, go again. Make it as tight as you can. When you get there, okay, now make it tighter. Okay, and relax. You did make it tighter again, didn't you? Okay. So is there a limit? What do you think is the factor of limitation? Now, I made a mistake here, didn't I? That, you know, the mind. The mind is where we accept the limits that we experience in life.